Welcome to our channel Mootechie. This is where we explore science with clear visuals and explanations. Let's begin our lesson on algae. Algae are defined as simple photosynthetic organisms. They can range from unicellular to multicellular thalli. This means their body is not organized into complex structures like true plants. They are mostly aquatic, found in both freshwater and marine environments, though some live on land or in symbiotic relationships. A key characteristic is that they lack true roots, stems, and leaves, having a non-vascular body plan instead. Their cell walls are often made of cellulose or silica, and their chloroplasts contain chlorophyll A. Algae come in various forms, including planktonic, which float freely, filamentous, which form threads, colonial, which are groups of cells, and benthic, which live on the bottom. On this slide, we also see a micrograph of an algal cell, courtesy Wikimedia Commons. This image helps us visualize the typically simple but functional structure of these organisms. Now, let's look at how algae are classified. Classification is based on several criteria: their pigments, storage products, cell wall composition, flagella, and their life cycle. The major groups include Chlorophyta or green algae, Phaeophyceae, the brown algae, Rhodophyta or red algae, Bacillariophyta, the diatoms, and Cyanobacteria, sometimes called blue-green algae. Pigments provide important visual cues. Green algae have chlorophyll A and B, brown algae have chlorophyll A and C plus fucoxanthin, red algae have phycoerythrin, golden algae have fucoxanthin, and cyanobacteria have phycobilins. It's important to note that modern molecular phylogeny continues to refine our understanding of the relationships between these lineages. The table on this slide organizes these groups by their criteria. We can see the first two rows highlight Chlorophyta and Rhodophyta, showing their differing pigments, wall structures, storage products, and flagella. The remaining values for Phaeophyceae, Bacillariophyta, and Cyanobacteria follow the same pattern and can be referred to in the table. Overall, this table helps us compare the defining features of each major algal group. Here, we delve into the cell structure and pigments of algae. Key organelles include chloroplasts, which often contain dense protein regions called ironoids, a nucleus, and a vacuole. Their cell walls are variable in composition. The pigments are crucial for photosynthesis and include chlorophyll A and B, fucoxanthin, which is associated with chlorophyll C, phycoerythrin, and various carotenoids. These pigment profiles are linked to specific groups: Chlorophyta, Phaeophyceae, Rhodophyta, and diatoms. Storage products also vary by group. Green algae store starch, brown algae store laminarin, red algae store Floridian starch, and diatoms often store oils. The diagram on this slide, reference from ResearchGate, shows the structure of Chlamydomonas, a common green alga. We can see labeled parts like the stigma or eye spot, which senses light, the nucleus, starch grains for storage, flagella for movement, a vacuole, mitochondria, the Golgi apparatus, a large chloroplast, the cytoplasm, and the pyronoid within the chloroplast, which is involved in carbon fixation. This diagram gives us a detailed look at how these organelles are arranged within a single motile algal cell. Moving on to reproduction in algae. Algae reproduce asexually through methods like binary fission, where a cell splits in two, fragmentation, where a piece breaks off to form a new individual, and by producing spores such as motile zoospores or non-motile aplanospores. Sexual reproduction involves the fusion of gametes and can be isogamous with similar-sized gametes, anisogamous with differently sized gametes, or oogamous, where a large egg is fertilized by a small sperm. This fusion creates a diploid zygote. Their life cycles can be haplontic, where the dominant phase is haploid, diplontic, where the dominant phase is diploid, or haplodiplontic, which features an alternation of generations between multicellular haploid and diploid phases. Many seaweeds, for example, alternate between a multicellular gametophyte, which is haploid, and a multicellular sporophyte, which is diploid. The schematic on this slide illustrates a simplified algal life cycle, showing the alternation of generations. It highlights that N represents the haploid state and 2N the diploid state, and points out the different patterns like haplontic and haplodiplontic. It also shows the zygote as the diploid cell resulting from gamete fusion, which is a key starting point for the sporophyte generation. Now, let's discuss the immense importance of algae. Ecologically, they are primary producers, forming the base of aquatic food webs and contributing a significant portion of the world's oxygen. Economically, they are sources of food like nori and kelp, and they provide valuable hydrocolloids such as agar, alginate, and carrageenan used in food and industry, as well as nutraceuticals. In technology, algae are promising for biofuels, bioplastics, carbon dioxide capture, and bioremediation of wastewater. However, a word of caution, harmful algal blooms or HABs can occur, where rapid growth produces toxins that endanger ecosystems and human health, making monitoring and management crucial. The icons on this slide visually summarize these points: a leaf for ecology and oxygen production, a bowl for food and industrial uses, a gear for technology applications, a water droplet for wastewater cleanup, and a warning symbol for the risks of toxic algal blooms. This slide provides a clear summary of key algal groups and their pigment highlights. Chlorophyta, the green algae, have pigments chlorophyll A and B, and they store starch. Phaeophyceae, the brown algae, have pigments chlorophyll A and C plus fucoxanthin, and they store laminarin and produce alginates. Red algae are characterized by the pigment phycoerythrin and store Floridian starch. Diatoms have pigments chlorophyll A and C plus fucoxanthin and are renowned for their beautiful, intricate silica cell walls called frustules. Each section on this slide is dedicated to one of these groups, repeating this vital information about their distinguishing pigments and storage reserves. This side-by-side comparison is excellent for study and review. Thank you. Subscribe for more science explainers and visual lessons. Subscribe to Mootechie at Mootechie. We've reached the end of our overview on algae. I hope this visual journey has helped illuminate the fascinating world of these essential organisms, from their tiny cell structures to their giant role in our planet's health. Keep that curiosity alive, and we look forward to exploring more topics with you soon.